Black parents! Calling all black parents! Listen, your children are in trouble. Yes, your children are in big trouble. Who am I to say that? Well, let's debate the cause here. Back making videos now that I'm not in the educational system. Just spent 20 years in the educational system. As one of the unicorn black male teachers. And I was just racially harassed out of a job. Yeah. Well, I say just. It feels when you work for a place for 20 years, it just like October last year feels like the other day. It feels like I only just stopped working there. Coming up to the summer holidays. Obviously, COVID's messed everything up. But what's the point of my message today? What have I seen over the last 20 years? I've seen that certain schools are institutionally racist, rabidly racist, and they employ members of staff on the basis of that rabid racism. And those staff will be in a school of majority black kids with no black teachers on the senior leadership staff, with a policeman working inside the school that will criminalize your child in a hot second. And this is the thing that hurts me the most. The thing that hurts me the most is that there are black teachers. Sorry, sisters, you need to get your house together, because the majority of them are women that have sold their soul to Satan. I'm going to explain. I don't even want to get on this gender bullshit, because there aren't any black men imbued with power in schools on a large basis. You might find one or two guys I know. There's one guy I know who's ahead. But as for black teachers, black male teachers, you will not find black male teachers in a school teaching anything other than PE or music. And I was a music teacher, so there you go. Black history teachers, nah. Geography teachers, nah. Science teachers, maybe occasionally. Yeah, a lot of black female science teachers. But for black male teachers, English teachers, you'd like to think so. No, they get harassed out of the job very easily. I don't even say very easily. Since that we've got Boris Johnson in, there is no difficulty. They just lie. Now they just lie. Like, I lost my job on the basis of a lie, on the basis of I'm white and I say so, with several white people colluding to make up a story backed by one or two black mammies that they got working for the school who didn't like me from the time I was there anyway. And those black mammies were feeding pedophile young girls on a regular basis. And they've all colluded. I tried to blow the whistle, and they all colluded to get me fired on a I'm white and I say so basis. And I've just come to me that several other black teachers have resigned from the school after I left. One or two went for promotion. They were blatantly told, you nigger, you ain't getting that promotion. So they've left. So there's a school in North London right now that is rabidly racist. And let me throw something else into the mix. In and around North London, you're going to see an increase in black male sexual predators. I'm sorry. How can I say that? Well, I can say that because they've been acclimatized to be sexual predators and get away with it from school. From the time they were in year 7, year 8, year 9, go on school trips. Certain indiscretions with young ladies. Sometimes unwanted indiscretions covered up. You know what kids are like. I've had one girl who was forced to give certain guys a blowjob. She didn't want to do it. Funny enough, there was a girl outside who wanted to do it, but they wanted it from this girl. The school blamed the girl. The girl ended up leaving, and the boys who were on the football team went out into the big wide world thinking that they can get away with this stuff. Now, they are in North London. Do you think they're going to be in the borough? Do you think they're going to move around the same borough as the teacher that let them off? Hell no. So, when I say your kids are in trouble, from a very let's frame it. Let's just take it step by step. Okay, if you're a black male teacher in a school and you're doing well, and the kids listen to you, and you have a conveyor belt, you have a system working, what they will do malevolently is then put kids into your class who have no business being in your class. So we're talking kids who've been suspended from every other school. Then they'll throw them into your class and they'll say, well, you do well with grades, you work well. Because the black kids like you, yeah, that automatically means in the head of the white teachers that you can deal with the criminal element. That's what they think. because the black kids that they can't deal with, that gravitate to you because you're from the same culture as them and you're educated and you have your master's degree and you can converse with the other white teachers and best them if they try to get funny. It happens on a regular basis. It happens to me on a regular basis. Do that around the kids, and they start to realize that you're a person of intelligence, and the other white teachers around you aren't. When that starts to happen, just because you are being you, they will form like Voltron. Okay, they will collude. They will Chinese whisper. I should have put this in Navigating the Racist Workplace Part 2. But I'm sitting in front of my computer and I'm just going to get this off my chest. Usually I'd write all of this down and I'd like, there'd be quite a stable sort of pattern of thought. So if you could bear with me, because I'm just shooting the shit here, shooting from the hip. They will form like Voltron. They will spread rumors about you. Obviously they're not true. Okay, the amount of rumors I've heard about me. There was a funny point I had to keep going before the headmaster betrayed me, which I think he was setting up to do for a long time. I had to come to him and ask him what I'd been doing. Okay, have I committed any indiscretions? He knows I have. He had a litany of supposed indiscretions that were never formal. They were never formalized until I went in front of a governor's meeting, in which case then he decided to drag out every single complaint that I'd made against me. Every single complaint, which incidentally had been battered away as blatant racism. They then used that to say I was a problem. We even had the stupid old mammy on the board of governors taking every instance of my racial harassment and citing me as trouble. Look at all of these instances. You can see he's trouble. That's what she said. Because they had one old black mammy ready to sell out a black man in an instant, jealous. There's an older generation that are really jealous of the young, virile, politically and financially astute black male coming through. They made all of their errors. They went with the wrong people. They made their stupid financial decisions. And through selling out, they have position now. And now they will destroy any young black man coming up who looks like he's formidable. So I had one of those on the board. I also had this yellow thing, and another thing. Oh boy, they're weaponizing those mixed race people like nobody's the weapon. The mixed race men in their 40s are especially dangerous because they are 100% white in their head. This is how they destroy black people. This is how I was destroyed. One mammy, one mixed race Obama thing who was practically white, and another mixed race faded thing who worked for some church diocese who doesn't even go into schools, didn't even know the back and forth, doesn't even know the colloquialisms used, doesn't even know how to speak to black people because she's a mixed race thing that just grew up with white parents. This is what they do to get black people out. There wasn't one parent on the governing board with me. Your kids are in trouble because teachers like me have been lied out of the school since about October last year. October, November, December, January, February, March, all this year. Then COVID hit. But a lot of black teachers have lost their jobs on the basis of I'm white and I say so. Just come back to me that the school that I used to work at have now gone and put one of the blonde-haired, blue-eyed white boys in charge of the racial liaison, the whitest white boy. But because he's going out with a mixed race girl who's white in her head anyway, that is their shoo-in. He knows about black people now. They put a white boy. They fired the black people, then put a white boy in charge of whatever racial discourse might come out off the back of this George Floyd, because we haven't been in school I say we haven't. Nobody's been in school since March, April, and people are tentatively going back now, and this is what I'm hearing. So this is a school in Harringay, a school in North London that is rabidly racist. Not only is it rabidly racist, the rabid racism is the tip of the iceberg. 3 pedophiles have come out of that school. 2 before I got there, okay, and 1 when I was there fucking the black girls with a predilection for black girls. There are several white teachers in that school with predilections for black girls. The only one that I uncovered, or I don't even want to say I uncovered, but the one that I tried to blow the whistle on was just 1. There were a couple more. So when you know, there's a phenomenon that a lot of black men are encountering, and it's just skewed because there are sisters. Listen to this. More power to you, sisters. Listen, I'm just trying to uncover the reasons for certain patterns of behavior, and we have seen certain ridiculously belligerent patterns of behavior from certain black girls. Who are you? Who the fuck do you think you are? Now I'm starting to see, over the 20 years that I've been there, that some of the rudest black girls who look at black men like a piece of shit, they were the ones who were fucking the white teacher. On my life. On my life. They were the ones that were. I'm 20 years in the school. I've just come out. I'm telling you what I know. At the end of the day, if anyone wants to come and question me, I'll sing like a canary and I'll name names. Yeah, and I'll tell you the exact system of how. I mean, you'll even be able to go back and trace certain people who'll even be able to confirm it. Right now, they're not saying anything because the power structure is too solid at the moment. The Tories are in, right? They've already been battered away for trying to complain against a pedophile teacher in the school. When I say a pedophile teacher, one who's running around fucking year nines. Yeah, we had a massive girl fight outside the front of the school because the sixth form girl who was about to leave realised that the PE teacher who she was fucking one of the year nines, so she came to beat up one of the year nines in front of the school. We had a massive girl fight in front of the school. Usually people tell me stuff, but these girls were clammed up tighter than a drum would tell. Usually they'll say which where it is, some guy from this school, blah blah blah. Nothing, and I'm usually quite good at extracting information. Nothing, because they was fucking that guy there, that teacher, that PE teacher that used to be senior leader before he slapped a child and then got busted down to PE teacher. Then when he was a PE teacher, started running around fucking the girls in a school in North London. Your kids are in trouble. Your kids are in trouble. This is going on right now. Look, forget historic cases of child sex abuse. This is going on my word, on my life. This is going on right now as we speak. Right now, it's being covered up as we speak. Right now, I'm out of a job for trying to blow the whistle on a pedophile scandal where you had two stupid ass black women, one faded sellout Jamaican and one fake Rasta. Yeah. Okay. So we're talking about the deputy head of child protection, and we're talking about the school counsellor who were feeding a pedophile teacher vulnerable young girls, and they knew they were vulnerable because they had their backstory. That's what's going on in the school in North London right now, just so that they can have a little office. Just so that they can have a little office. And they say, but here's the thing: it's not so far the way I've seen. So far as I've seen, it's not Caribbean girls; it's African girls, right? It's them Nigerian girls or them lost Ghanaian girls with no dad in the house, because he likes black girls, but he knows, or they know, that you put your hands on a Caribbean girl, and there's some mad Jamaican second cousin, third cousin even, that will come back to fuck you up and make a scene in school, which is why they go for the vulnerable third world girls. This is what's going on in the school right now. Your kids are in trouble. Okay, then I'll go on to one of the Facebook pages. I'm not going to bait out any groups or anything, but I'll go to one or two groups that are related to the interests of black children, and you'll see some of the very worst parents in there arguing against anything positive, and I know them because I know their names. Yeah, you'll see white guys pretending to be black with black profiles coming in and just starting shit. This is going on right now, all to upset the balance of whatever wave of positivity that we can all see starting to come from the death of George Floyd. Okay, all of our kids had been trapped in their houses, and they were able to see a snuff movie that traumatized them. I said that in the last video. So now we have a captive audience of kids who have been able to see what I was seeing from the time Philando Castile got shot, and I cried at work, and then I had to get myself together and go back and teach a period 5, right? The kids got to see what I saw several years ago. Not even woke me up, because I knew the elders told me they were going to start killing black people by the bushel at least 10 years ago. And now we're here. I started warning the kids, and even the old kids that left are coming back going, sir, everything you said is happening right now. You're damn right it is. But the kids get to see it now. And the powers that be in the educational system are scared as hell, because now they know they have to come up with some sort of answer. Now they know they have to address it. But they've just gone in a wave of firing every black teacher. Before this mass movement started going on, they were out there firing black teachers, and they were. Listen, there are a few black parents. I do this job for the 2 or 3% of black parents, and I'm telling you, when I was teaching for 20 years, it was for at least 2 or 3% of black parents, Caribbean parents. It's 3% because the rest are waste. Yeah, it's the 3% that know who you are, appreciate the fact that you're a black teacher. And I've helped 1 or 2 ancient bloodlines come through the educational system. 1 or 2 lost ancient bloodlines that stayed intact. I helped them come through the educational system and get to university. Unbeknownst to all the white teachers who these kids were. Thank God. I had a Duggan and I had a Silcott in my school, and both of them were railroaded out. Both of them were conned out of the school. Both of them were kicked out of the school. I'm probably narrowing it down a bit now. Now, both of them were kicked out. You know who Silcott is? We had a descendant of Winston in my school. They screwed him up the day that he decided to listen to me. The day he was like, well, you know, Sue's got some, I can, if I put my name and my positivity into something, I could. The day he came to that realization, they kicked him out on some bullshit, right? We had that was the Duggan boy. They kicked him the day he came to the Silcott boy. They kicked him out on some bullshit as well. I wouldn't be surprised if they tried to blame me for to turn it onto another black. Hey, listen, it's malevolent. Okay, so doing my job, I came across a Duggan and I came across a Silcott. They both were fortunate enough to at least have one black male teacher in their life for a second who managed to clue them up about something. Both kicked out of school. Yeah, both on trumped up bullshit because they've got familiar surnames. They've got surnames that white people know. But there were some surnames there that the white people don't know. I'm not going to say what they are. But they came through the school and I managed to help them get to uni, thank God. Because if they knew, they would have done what they do to the kids that they don't like at the moment. You have policemen in the schools at the moment. And if there are 1 or 2 crimes that can be sorted out in-house, theft of a pair of trainers, theft of a phone, theft of a bike, that can be sorted out in-house. Okay, well, we can find the thief, get the culprit, blah blah blah, return all the stuff, and for years schools have dealt with that in-house. In 2020, if one of the white teachers don't like one of your kids who's done, and even as far as I've seen, they tried to phone the police on a kid that threw a stink bomb, tried to criminalize it. If I wasn't able to get the code and get CCTV, there was another kid that they tried to do for theft on his last day of school. On his last day, because he listened to me. They wanted him to be a footballer. He stopped listening to that nonsense because of me. Probably about year 11, year 12, year 13. He managed to get his stuff. He's now graduated from a Westminster. Now graduated from a university in Florida. He's graduated from a university in Florida, went over there on a soccer scholarship. Okay, because obviously he was good at football, right? So I got him to put education first, and that thing that he was talented with, both of those things were able to get him over to Florida. They tried to criminalize that boy on the last day of term, tried to say he stole a female teacher's leather jacket. A woman's leather jacket. I said, why would he want a woman's leather jacket? They said, oh, we don't know the mind of criminals to give to his girlfriend. Good thing I had the code and I was able to go through the CCTV and find out it was a girl that did it. Now they had the policeman come in and everything like that. Fortunately, I showed the copper it was a girl that did it. They didn't even go after the girl that stole the jacket. This is in a school in North London right now. They didn't even go after the girl that stole the jacket just because they wanted to, teach this young black guy a lesson. You want to listen to the black man and go university? And no, we're going to criminalize you. This is going on in a school right now. Your kids are in trouble. Now I'm not there. It's going to be far worse. Your kids are in trouble. If you're a black parent and you have a kid in a school right now, okay, you should be on the board of governors. If you are a black parent, Caribbean parent, with a child in a school right now, you should be on the board of governors. If you're not, shut the fuck up about anything that happens to your child in that school. Don't put your child in an environment of racists and then expect Martin Luther King and expect Malcolm X. Yeah? Don't expect a child of quality to come out of an environment of racism that you intentionally put that child in because you were too lazy to find. When I see these stories about Black Rasta boy gets kicked out of school because of his dreads, I'm like, motherfucker, didn't you go to that school beforehand and walk around and take your child on the open day? You lazy motherfucker. You didn't take your child there so that the school could see that your child had dreads, so it would have been a thing there. You just sent your child to the school, and so many black parents are guilty of this. They just send their children into the most horrific of racial circumstances, pedophilic circumstances. Okay, and then say, I sent you to school to learn, not to get into trouble with some teacher who's racist and picking on them. If you're not on the board of governors as a Caribbean parent, shut the fuck up because you're failing your child. No, you don't get to say you send your child to school and it's your job to. No, you don't do that because we're in racist Britain, you lazy fuck. We're in racist Britain. You don't just put your child out somewhere. You know, the phenomenon of black parents, just ignoring the racism is what leads to Stephen Lawrence getting killed. It's what leads to my friend getting chased through Enfield and nearly stabbed because the black parents are thinking, well, we've made enough money now working for London Transport and the NHS, and we're going to buy a newer house now. We're going to move out into this suburb. Not even asking who the fuck lives in that suburb. Now your child has to go in and out of that environment. Back in the day, it was Eltham. When I was coming up, it was Winchmore Hill, and it was Enfield. Okay, and black people would just move out there and go, I'm sending you to school, while you're getting chased down the road by white boys with bicycle chains and knives, because the ignorant parents of the generation before us didn't take into account the racism that would affect our own children. Eltham's a fucking racist area. His parents moved into that area for property value, and now they've lost their child. It's a long time ago now, but let's not beat around the bush. They moved there for property value to increase their own self-worth. And they lost a child because they didn't think that the environment that they were moving into, they didn't think it was important to check out the environment that they moved their child into. Now 99% of you parents are sticking your kids into racist environments and you're expecting something decent to come out at the end of the day. These black girls are going in, they're getting predicated on by the young white teachers who want to taste the chocolate because they know that they're single parents. Hell, the school advertises to parents on the basis that they're single parents. Look how many holidays we're going to take your child on. Your child will be out of the school for this long. They advertise to black parents intentionally to the single parents so that they can get your kids because they have more control over your kids. Your black girls are being predicated on by white teachers who fuck them, then they can then take them out to dinner and drive them around, right? Then they come out into the environment and they're like, nigga, who the fuck are you with your bus pass? Nigga, who are you? Yeah? Trying to do something. Yeah, nigga, who is you? Yeah, what the fuck have you got? You ain't got nothing for me. That's the attitude they come out with. And don't try to tell me anything else because I've lived it. Fuck you and fuck your feelings. Because I lived it. There's a reason why there aren't too many black male members of staffs in schools. There's a reason why, okay? There's a couple of other dynamics. If you want to go out and read Francis Cresswell Thinks, the ISIS papers, you'll know that it's one of the environments where the two demographics that they want to keep apart from each other mix on a regular basis. That is the young, virile, super sperm black boy, yeah, and the young, nubile, white female teacher in her early 20s, okay? That is the demographic they want to keep as far apart as possible, and you're going to introduce me into the factor? Old enough to fuck, and you think they're going to be cool with that? Listen, when I was there, all the white teachers wanted to fuck me for the first 5 years. I know the game. I know the moment you fuck one or two of them publicly, all the white teachers come against you. So yeah, I did my dirt on the sly. I was a dark horse, but I never went public with anything. Okay, and I made it known that I prefer the sisters. That makes me a racist. You're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. I prefer the black girls. Oh, well, and then when I would say I prefer the mature women, then I'm getting hit on by these teachers in their 50s about to retire because they think, well, I'm a dick in a glass case. I can just be used. And then when I'm like, excuse me, I don't want your wrinkled pussy, or I wouldn't say that, but I defer in a more politer manner, then they're offended. Do you know the tightrope I had to walk in order to not be perceived as a sexual predator just because I'm a black man? Do you know how many hugs I've had to do where you lean forward to give the hug, right? Knowing that somewhere in a classroom, somewhere there's someone looking at going, oh look, he's getting a bit close. He's getting, and the biggest joke is all the time it's the white teachers fucking the kids in Haringey in 2020, right now. Yeah, sue me, come sue me. I'll sing like a canary. But this is YouTube, and at the end of the day, there's people in America who don't even know what the hell I'm talking about, but they understand that the circumstances are similar. They understand that it's a similar thing going on with the Afro-Caribbean, the Hebrew, the whatever you want to call yourself. Okay, yeah, the 5%er, the black Muslim, whatever you want to call yourself. Yeah. Even to all the demigods out there who've got 300 or 400 people that follow them. Okay, we're all the same people. It's all affecting us, and more than any time, they're coming for your kids. And I'm not there to protect anybody, right? My name means protector, and I'm gonna have to edit that out. And I'm not going to be there to protect anyone. So good luck with. But the black male teacher was here. When the black male teacher was here, a lot of the kids took the piss out of me. A lot of the parents looked at me like I was a piece of shit the moment they walked into the parents' meeting, even though I was this dressed smart. You know, like who's he? As their child fails. As their child fails. You don't want to do that. You don't want to do music. As I get kids into uni, okay, music technology, music business, academic side of music. Why would you want to? What future's there? Turn your nose up at me as your child goes off to do the baccalaureate and fails. Oh, we're in trouble. But the next thing I'm going to talk about, and I'm going to end this now, but the next thing I'm going to talk about are the array of racist incidents that I saw over the 20 years, especially against the black male teachers, and how racial incidents are contrived to criminalize and marginalize, ostracize the black male teacher. More to come.